Okay, so I think you should start because you're like the queen of piercings and tattoos. And I'm just going to sit back and hear you and watch
Hold
you.
on, have you got any? Nothing.
I'm super scared.
You,
My mom says,
you.
thank God, Vanessa. She's always saying that. She's like, thank God Vanessa is scared of needles. If not, she'd have her face tattooed as well. It probably.
Trust me. You're not fucking wasting my time getting tattooed, man.
But yeah, no, I don't think there's anything against having them. I think today we are a minority who aren't.
Don't.
Namaste, amigos. This is Vanessa and Aisha, two wildly passionate women coming to you from opposite sides of the world, Australia and Mexico. This podcast is for you, about you, all of us, all women from all walks of lives, sharing our stories, our truths, our struggles as we uplift, transform, break boundaries, and grow.
Welcome, guys. Today we're going to have a fun topic. Thought we'll make it a little bit of a light one for you all. It's going to be all about tattoos and piercings and how they sort of show up in, our lives. And most of the times our kids actually, come up to us as parents and say, I want to get a tattoo or I want to get a piercing. So today we're going to have a discussion on that and what our thoughts are, what our experiences are in relation to that, and, how we see it and how we feel about it as parents. So welcome back, guys, to Namaste, amigos. And how are you, Vanessa? How is your day so far?
I am great. I love this topic. I think this is a fun one. And as two very country, we are the total opposite when it comes to piercings and tattoos. Because I have my two piercings in my ears, which I got on the day I was born in Mexico City. The doctors pierced the ears right on at birth. And so I don't ever remember any of it. And I have wanted to get a bunch. And I've wanted to get a bunch of tattoos. And I have nothing on my body because I was always just too scared to get them and too frightened. And I was always just, oh my God, what about the pain? And it scared the living crap out of me. I've gone into a tattoo shop 3 times. I was 17, 20, and 24 with different friends. And I ended up walking out on all 3 of them and waiting for them at a bar because I was horrified. I started seeing the needle and I'd start feeling the cold sweats and I'd be like, I'm gonna go. I gotta go.
You are
So
so lucky you didn't come with me. There's no way I'd let you walk out of there. Dude, I would knock you out and get you done. Trust me. You're not fucking wasting my time. You're getting tattooed, man. Well, yeah, my journey with tattoos. Let me quickly tell you some funny stories. So I have a mum who is completely opposite to me.
let's start. Let's start with how many do you have,
Okay, I
and
have
then how young you started. Let's start there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I have 8,
Tattoos.
9. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I started to maybe 17, 18 when I was 17 or 18. And it was something that I always loved. But like I was saying, my mom completely opposite, right? So she just wouldn't put a little scratch on herself and everything. But I really love tattoos and everything. And sort of living with them and that, I didn't really have the opportunity to sort of get the tattoo that I wanted, but I was a rebel and I knew that I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a tattoo, And so I actually went traveling on my own to India. And when I think about this story, I went traveling to India on my own, and I was on a mission to get a tattoo. Like, I was like, now I'm away from my parents. I'm gonna return back with a tattoo. And so I asked a family member to find me a tattooist. And lo and behold, guess who they found? They found a gentleman that was tattooing people on the streets, in the gutter, pretty much on the gutter, on the footpath. And that was a family member. And they came to me and said, hey, we found a tattoo person that would do your tattoo, but you have to go to the slums to his house. It's in the slums. And are you good with that? And I said, yeah, absolutely, I'm good with that. So that night I ended up going to this guy's house in the slums, and seriously, it was the slums. And when I rock up there, this man doesn't even have a nose. I think he was a leper, right? And so I go there. I'm sitting on his bed. I did not see any form of sterilization, anything. And I was like, yep, go ahead and tattoo my ankle. And it was the worst thing ever. He just freehanded this drawing, this line, and my whole intention behind it was, I just want a tattoo. There was no design, this, that, there's a meaning to it. Nah, I just wanted to actually get a tattoo at any cost. And then I did it. And it hurt like hell, because obviously it wasn't proper equipment, it wasn't anything. And I did it, and I was really proud of myself in that moment. And I came back and everything was good. And that just started the ball rolling. Then I booked myself in at a tattoo shop. I ended up getting a massive tribal snake down my spine. I got piercings at the same time. I was just like, arm thing. And then I went to my parents and I said, look here, and they were like, God. And then my mum was devastated because I got a belly button ring at the same time. And my mum was like, how much did you pay for the belly button ring? I'll pay you to take it out. And I was like, wow, she didn't notice I have 3 tattoos now. Like, they're permanent, And so that sort of started my whole journey with tattoos and piercings and everything, to the point where I've had my tongue pierced. I think I've had every body part pierced, tattooed. My tattoo story is that I've also ended up tattooing my daughter. She's also tattooed me. We've got a tattoo together. It's been fun, and it's been fun. And I look at my daughter, she's at least, been sensible and not gone off to India or somewhere and got a leper to tattoo her. And her tattoos are quite, they're meaningful, and they have a reason behind it. She put thought behind it. And so I like it because it hasn't been crazy and just like how I did it, was just to do it, and I think if you do it with that, they look beautiful, and they mean something. And nowadays, if you don't want something, you can always laser it off. So it's been a great journey with tattoos and piercings. So have you got anything against it? Like, would you let Chloe get tattoos?
So it's funny. I mean, my mom would always say, "Thank God Vanessa was scared of needles, because if not, she'd be tattooed all over." And she's probably right. I like them. I like them a lot. Um, I like piercings a lot too. I wanted to get like a bunch on my ear. I never got the ears. I wanted the belly button done. I didn't get that done. That was really all I wanted. Those two were really all I really wanted. But Yeah, I think my fear has almost, and I know that Chloe is super into them. Like she sees them and
Oh.
like, oh, I like that. I like that. I want one of those. I want. My girlfriend came the other day and she had her belly button pierced. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God. The 6 years old. Like, oh my God, I want one of those. So I'm sure it's coming and it's coming my way. And I think that I would probably go with Chloe the first time and I would probably bite the bullet and get a tattoo.
Oh, nice. I love that.
I think
Oh, I love that.
if I'm gonna do it, if she's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it with her. Um, but yeah, no, I don't think there's anything against having them. I think today we are a minority who aren't
Don't.
tattooed.
Yeah, true.
I have a friend of mine who's Buddhist, and in the Buddhist rite of passage, you have to go to a temple for 3 months, be in a monastery, in a monk's monastery, and then at the end of the 3 months, they tattoo you with a bamboo, whatever. I think there's a lot of tradition that just dates back as well, so right, such as tattooing um, our bodies and
Mm.
piercings and the
Yes.
holes, and I mean, it's I think religion and Western civilization kind of tabooed it for a while, that you
Yes.
couldn't
Yes.
be
Yes.
inked, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it makes us more like indigenous people, like Indians, like savages, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Spot on. Us.
And I mean, I think that there is, if you look at a lot of tribes that are just from years and years and years ago, they all have some form of tattoo and or piercing,
Yeah.
uh,
Agreed.
through the
Agreed.
nose, in the mouth, in the tongue. I mean, so I don't
Agreed.
think
Agreed.
anything new. Now, if you have kids, yeah, I think that there's an age for everything. I don't know if I'd want my 15-year-old daughter getting a tattoo. Um, I don't know if that's too early,
Yeah.
to get a bunch of, because you've got to realize that it is something that is going to be on you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So, you kind of have to be a little mindful of what you're putting on there. Like no boyfriend's names type deal, or girlfriend's names, or husband's names, or wives' names. I mean, a lot of those are usually.
Guilty. 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 There's laser, girl. There's laser, mate.
I
I've
hear
after.
that laser is much more painful, isn't it, than the
Yeah, but
actual
like
tattoo?
when you want that shit off, you want that shit off. Like I'm all right with that pain. It's really funny because my mum, she has a nose ring, right? So I remember so she was all right with me getting a nose ring when I was 13 because it was so cool cultural. And then when I sort of started experimenting and getting my tattoos, getting pierced everywhere, wherever you could think of. And, you know, and when I look back, I was really piercing when it was very, very new. Like the majority of people didn't do it. Like I'm 44 now. I was doing it at 17 when I was 17.
Right.
Now it's really out there and happening. But, I was 17 and I got my tongue pierced and I had to hide it from my parents. And I remember I got it done during a lunch break while I was working at a takeaway food shop. I didn't know, but my tongue swelled that much because they clamp it and they pierce it through, and fuck, that was painful. And I came back, my tongue swelled, I couldn't speak. And I was like, fuck, no one told me this. How am I going to serve? And I couldn't ask how could I help you? And so my boss was looking at me and laughing because I was random, and he was asking the customers, and I was making the food and everything. And then I thought, shit, how am I now? I can't even eat and bite and, all that stuff. I couldn't chew. It was really painful. And I thought, how am I going to deal with this at home? And then I remember just, asking my dad and mum just for soup. And they were like, soup. And I hid it really well because I had to sort of like, and for a lot of the times I'd have to sort of put food in the side of my mouth and eat it and stuff. And I hid it, like they didn't catch me. And then when it healed, I used to just take it out and then speak to them normally and then sort of stick it back in. And when I spoke to my mum about it later, she goes, it's crazy. And I said, oh, okay, so you're right to get a hole in your nose because you accept it culturally in your culture. But I said, how do you know this is not cool in Africa? Like I said, it's all about, I said, if someone sees you down the street, you're 60 plus, you might look like a freak because you got a nose ring. So I said, it's the same thing. It's just another different body part that you're piercing. And so, I sort of broke it down to my parents, and my mum was, I remember my mum was like, okay, she got it. But this one, this is my second time I got that one done. And I remember when I first got that one done, I always wanted to, but I was sort of sensitive to my parents. And then the day that they pissed me off one day in a fight, the first thing I did is go down to the place and go, and he's piercing.
That has to hurt, doesn't it?
Oh, dude, I've had worse places done that hurts. So I was cool with that. I've had my tongue done 3 times, in and out, and just random. But, just recently Aaliyah's got one here and one here now. She's got I've had this done 11 here, which all got infected. Aaliyah's got one here now, and Ria's got one here, and now she got the septum done. So we've sort of we've all pierced and whatever. Now our mission, me and Aaliyah, is to get Ria tattooed as well. And we're hoping Ria gets tattooed as well, but she's like, no. But we said, we're gonna get you tattooed. Well, we're on the other end.
In the Indian culture, because I've noticed a lot of Indian women have
Yeah.
is that a beauty mark, a cultural mark, a religious thing, or it's just where does that stem from? Do you know?
No, I don't really. There is some sort of meaning to it. I'm 100% sure, but now it's just more fashion statement. Now it's just I just want to get it done, and so they get it done. I think not really, but definitely I do believe that would have come from somewhere. But yeah, no, I've never done it for that reason anyway. But yeah, I just feel
tattoos popular or no?
Well, it's really funny. So when I go to the villages and I look at some of the older village elders, I do see that they've actually tattooed themselves, right? So they have really dodgy tattoos of maybe a Om or something. But when I see middle class and upper class, no, right? But obviously the younger generation now tattoos. But so tattoos did exist in tribal formats, but I think that's why they are so taboo, because it's okay, you're tribal if you have tattoos. You're not a part of this, sort of modern society, and sort of you're looked down upon being tribal and stuff. And I think obviously those things are breaking down now. People are accepting kids with tattoos at jobs, and high paying jobs have people that have tattoos and sleeves and whatever, they express themselves. So I like that, because at the end of the day, as long as someone is showing up for what they need to do, and that, I don't think tattoos and piercings make a massive issue. So that's why, even though Ria is young, she's got a septum and she's got a nose ring, I allow her to express it, because even as a parent, I feel if you say no to everything to that level, I feel sometimes what happened with me is I wanted to express it all in one go, just to shove it in your face. All right. So it was, maybe I didn't even want to, but it's you said no, bang, I'm just going to push back really hard and pierce and tattoo and go crazy and not even have a thought process. Whereas I see with Aaliyah, you know, she really has thought about the piercing. She's really thought about her tattoos that she's got now. You know, they're consciously done. Whereas I was just pushing back with them. And so I just pierced and tattooed. And it's like they're gonna do it anyway. If someone loves tattoos and piercings, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
They're gonna do it,
absolutely.
you
Well, and
know?
it's just about pushing, it's about pushing to the fear, right, of actually doing it. And once you've got one, I hear it's so addicting that you can't really just stay at one. Is that true?
Very true. Like it took me a while. So I tattooed, I got tattooed and stuff and pierced. And like I said, I kept piercing because it was like, okay, I just want to do that rush again. I just want to do something new again, new again. And then just being a mum sort of slowed me down in that process, which was good. But then when Aaliyah wanted to get her first tattoo, she was like, Mum, do you want to get a tattoo with me? I was like, oh, here we go again. You know what I'm saying? And so we got something that was meaning, like we both got a tattoo on our shoulder here, like a song that I used to sing to her. We got a lyric of that song tattooed on ourselves. And then while we were there, it was so funny because the tattooist was a really cool dude. We said, hey, do you mind if we tattoo each other? And then, you know, I tattooed Aaliyah and Aaliyah tattooed me. So it was a fun memory as well, you know. So um yeah, it was good. Like those things are memory. Like I would never erase that. I would never not do that. But I guess now I'm a little bit more conscious and I don't want to be covered everywhere, but I have no regrets. Even the dodgy one on my ankle that looks like shit, like it really looks shit, right? I thought about covering it up and sort of getting it, but I thought, no, that's my memory. You know, that's like the fun, like a leper with no nose tattooed my ankle, you know, like that's my never ever would let my kids do that, by the way. This is not condoning that shit. Like I was fucking smoking something, man. I don't know what I was on when I did that. Right. Like, thank God I've been tested and I'm fucking all clear. But Jesus Christ, I had no brain cells when I made that decision. Let me just tell the parents and children, listen to this. Do not get a tattoo done by some dude on a footpath with no nose. Like never. And but you know, again, a funny story, a funny memory that I have. Like, you know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think the smart thing for parents, even if they're against it, is like, you trust me, if a kid likes tattoos and piercings,
It's gonna happen at
like
some
to
point.
try, yeah. There has to be a middle point. There has to be some sort of understanding and sort of middle point of sort of like dealing with it. Do not say no, do not do that, because when they come back at you, it's with vengeance that they want to. That's the tattoo, me and Aaliyah. It's a kiss and a hug. Yeah, she did a good job, but I did it. Oh, I smashed her on hers. But yeah, so you know, yeah, I don't mind them. I think they're pretty all right, and I do believe there's an age for them too. I wouldn't let Ria sort of get a tattoo right now, but Aaliyah's cool, and that's what I have to say. It's a good, fun journey, and it's a way kids express. Even adults, they express.
Yeah, I think I mean the tattoos have been around forever and ever and ever, right? And I think that there are there are some beautiful artists out there that do
Yeah.
amazing
Yes.
work.
Yeah.
So I'd like to, definitely commend all of the artists that are out there doing this as a living, because it's you have to be an artist, and some of these artists charge a hefty amount of money to actually put their artwork on you. And I think, like anything, I think you need to research about it and see where you're getting it, and not go to the middle of nowhere in India and a guy without a nose and get tattooed, or anywhere else in the world for that matter. But I think, it's like anything. Today it's become a trend again, if not more than a trend. It is something that is so common. But as parents, I think we always want to kind of protect and console, and we want our kids to look a certain way and to dress a certain way and put their hairs up a certain
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think if they want to express themselves in piercings and hairstyles and things like that, there's definitely an age for everything.
Agreed.
Um, but at some point you do have to, it is a tug and pull type of situation. And so, to all your listeners out there, if you see both sides of the coin, and we are definitely both sides of the coin on this point. At the end of the day, if your kids want a tattoo, they are going to get one unless they are like me and they're scared of needles.
Agreed. Agreed.
Only way they're not gonna get one. So
Agreed.
it's been an awesome conversation. I think this is, it's always good to have one of those light conversations. And to all your viewers, we'd love for you to post some of your tattoos and to share them with us. And we will have Aisha share some with you, especially the ankle one.
Favorite tattoo of all time. Absolutely, guys. Give us your tattoo stories. Let us laugh. Let us hear. It's so much fun to share these funny stories. So until next time, cheers, people. Love you, Vanessa.